Let's now have a look at some of the stories behind the scenes recorded on our cameras yesterday.
8:45 a.m. last morning saw the Kochikade shrine stand still and silent, along with it silencing the lives of those who were there for prayer. In such a context, we saw how people were offering prayers for their dear ones who lost their lives. Yesterday's despicable acts of terrorism cost us a large number of lives. Every one of those lives have behind a story of their own. But such is the number of lives lost that we are unable to say their stories in a few minutes. Let's have a look at some of the stories of the people who were affected by yesterday's tragic events. You may remember this young girl who tried tirelessly to upstand her mother and father, who were laying on the floor of the church among countless bodies. While her mother has passed away, her father sustained serious injuries, leaving this young girl by herself. We made our way to Kochikade in search of her. Residents in the area informed us that she has been taken into the custody of an officer of the Coastal Police Force named M.R. Vishmapala. When we inquired with Kusuma Hettiarachi, who works at the foreshore police here, she told us the following.
One of our sergeants brought a child. The child was sent through another child and was handed over to me in the police guard room. The child was crying, asking for her mother. The child was not neglected. A police SP even brought chocolates and food items. But the child was asking for her mother. She even said her father was lying on the ground. So I told her mother had gone to the shop and that she will be back.
We then went to Wattala in search of an address of a relative that she remembered. There, we met 3-year-old Christopher Janita, who was living in a rented room with her relatives.
It was my relative who complained to the police that her child was missing. We showed the photos of our little ones to the police officer. He then said that her child was not found as yet. However, he said that he saw this little one.
These residents of Passara in Badulla don't even have the resources to transport the remains of this girl's mother to her residence.
It will cost a lot of money to take the body to Badulla, so I ask of you, please help them in any way you can. Please be a blessing to these people at this time.
We also went in search of the individual who had called the phone that was ringing following the blast in Kochikade. That call to Reagan Ruth had originated from the phone of Kanagalingam Ruben. I called my younger brother's phone, but he did not answer. Then I called the phone of his family members. It rang but was not answered by anyone. My brother, his wife and 2 children are all in the ICU. Meanwhile, American national Lewis Allen, who was at the Colombo National Hospital yesterday, said that both his wife and son were caught in yesterday's explosion. His wife died as a result. Mr. Lewis had contributed his personal wealth to develop the children's ward of the Ratnapura General Hospital, adding a number of new facilities. He had brought his wife down to the country to show her how the public are benefiting as a result.
Yes, I love Sri Lanka. We come all the time, and I built a hospital with some friends of mine from Ratnapura. We built a children's hospital in Ratnapura, and I was taking my wife and my children to see the hospital, and we had my son and her were in the restaurant having breakfast, and my son is injured and my wife passed away.